Um, no, not really. I always have a New Year's resolution to lose weight, and it never happens. So maybe 2020 is my year.
How was the break, both personally and just with the guys? I mean, a little bit longer than normal. How did it go?
Yeah, keep in mind that we don't create the order of our Pac-12 schedule, and the conference has to wait to get through a number of different segments and periods of time before they let us know who we play first in the order of games, et cetera. If you play your partner, obviously whoever gets that, you have more of a break post Christmas, and for us, I have always elected to play our non-conference games prior to Christmas, just because once the Christmas break comes, we want our players to have time with their family. Really take a break from the academic grind, which starts in late August here. And then, 13 non-conference games in the travel can really wear on you. So, what we like to do is when we get back from the break, now it's about the Pac-12 season, not just the next game, but, the 18 games, the focus of getting everybody locked in on what's to come here over these next 10 plus weeks. So, that's why we do it. So when you look at why we haven't played a game in some time, it's just in some ways it's the fact that we're playing ASU first that gave us a little bit more. But I think it's a break that we've tried to take advantage of. We've had good practices. The attitude of our team is very, very good. I think all of us recognize that we have to keep getting better, and we've identified those things that have hindered us in the non-conference season, that no doubt that we have to improve to be successful here in these next couple of months. But I love the way our guys have come back from the break, and we've worked hard. I think we've tried to be smart, but we've also tried to work on Arizona. As much as it's about the next game, so much at this time of year is just to keep getting better at the things that are going to make not only us a better team, but individuals on our team, knowing their role, doing things just better. We have a lot of new faces, and I have felt that through the non-conference season. And these practices, again, I think with 7 new guys who all play in the game, it's good to have, I think, some of these additional practices since our non-conference years ended.
Within that, any specific things? I mean, I remember you were talking a lot about rebounding and fouling too much and things like that. Any of that? I don't know if any particular focus like that.
Yeah.
That you've had?
It's really straightforward with us. Number one is defensive rebounding. We have not done a good job of that. Sometimes it hurts you with like key plays. Big second shots against your team in the second half. There's a wearing down effect over a course of 40 minutes. And, we haven't been on the winner's side of that wearing down effect rebounding. It's not one person's responsibility. I can't point a finger at a player. I would say that Zeke Najee, more than anyone, has really started to improve the defensive rebounding. His production and numbers have risen, which is a good sign. And we could use even more. But our guards have to rebound. Our reserves have to rebound. The starting five's got to do a better job blocking out. And, it's a challenge for our coaching staff because, it's an area that sometimes gives you a ceiling with the talent you have. But one thing that we all pride ourselves in is, getting individual players to go get the ball and block out. It's something you almost say, like, anybody can do it. It has to be really important. So it's not always fun to work on. It's not fun to talk about. But, when you don't defensive rebound, you foul more, you give up back-breaking baskets that are 1-foot shots. And, if you just do the math and you look at this year's team, we're subpar in that area, and that has to improve. Everything that we do, like who we play, who we sub, a player who's not getting the job done in that area, it's that important. I think the analogy that I would give is it's like offensive and defensive lines in football. You don't always really know unless you're maybe on the field or the coach who's winning that battle. Rebounding is very similar, and we've struggled. So that's one. Number two for us is we foul a lot. Matter of fact, we foul at almost an absurd rate. It's stupid. We're not a smart team when it comes to fouling. And we foul as in the post, we foul on drives, we foul at the end of the clock, we foul three-point shooters, and you know what? That's up to our staff to correct. Some of it is the youth that we have on the court. Some of it is fundamentally we have to be better, smarter, hold people accountable more, and I'm hoping that we can improve in that area. It's very difficult to win when you commit fouls. Among the many things in the St. John's game that did us in, we had 4 fouls that had nothing to do with the play. It's you bail them out, they go to the foul line, make both, they get to the bonus earlier. Good players on our team have to sit out or foul out. And fouling, is something that, again, you have pride as a coach. Can you discipline your team to not foul? And those two things go hand in hand. If you don't defensive rebound, you foul more. So I think that for us to be successful, we have to foul less, defensive rebound better. And then, the third thing for us, it's very, very straightforward, is you can't take stupid shots. You can't. This isn't a circus act. This isn't an audition. This is the shot good for Arizona? That shot that goes up, is that a winning play? Is that a winning shot? And how you determine that now for us is we have a lot more evidence. We've practiced almost 60 times. We have played 13 games. We're in the month of January. What percentage do you shoot? If you shoot 32%, that's terrible. I can make the case you should never, ever shoot the ball from that area. It's not a good enough shot. If you have a low post player and a forward like Zeke who shoots above 70%, we have to get him more. It's not me, it's him. He's the guy who tells everyone he needs more. He needs more free throw attempts. He needs more catches. He needs more shots. I'm not out there playing. He is. He makes the shots that he shoots. But our ill-advised, quick, off the dribble, sometimes 20-foot twos, sometimes off the dribble threes, my turn shots, it's a selfish way of playing. It hurts our defense. It hurts our fouling. Number one, it hurts our ability to win. And the way we play away from home, you've heard it a long, long time. Defense and rebounding travel. Got teams that really take care of the ball, like Gonzaga. They went on the road. If you take quick shots, if you shoot shots just to shoot them, say we play fast. Look at us shoot the ball quick, and they don't go in. Any team in the country can beat us. Any team in the country, and we're not a smart team with our shot selection, and that's on me. I think you'll see a big change with that, and that a quick shot has to be a very good one, taken by the right player, time, score, situation. But when you take bad shots, you take quick shots, you take those shots that just have no meaning towards winning, then the other part of it is it's hard to be a good defensive team because those two things are connected. You take quick shots, you take selfish shots, take my turn shots, shots that don't help our team win, and then you're going to say go down the other end and let's be a together group on defense. Let's give our heart and soul. Let's guard the ball. Let's be fundamentally sound. Let's give 30 seconds, and let's make sure that we're solid. Doesn't work that way. And our shot selection has hurt our defense. It's hurt our winning. It's hurt our individual players because we have guys that aren't as efficient as they should be, and as me as the coach need them to be, and that becomes our focus. So those are three things that it's not like I have a magic wand to just say, well, all of a sudden we're good at all three of those areas, but we have to improve and be better. That's the job of a coaching staff. That's my job, to make sure that those areas right there are areas that we can clearly improve. And I would say that sometimes our improvement may be incrementally, but I will say that if we can improve in all three of those areas, I think we'll be very successful as we move forward in the next couple of months. I would say that if those three areas don't change, we're going to win a few, we're going to lose a few. So I think that's how I really feel about things right now for our team. And again, one of the I think most important parts is the team's collective attitude, and we've had a really good attitude. We have worked hard since we've gotten back from the break. You lose a game the way we lost at against St. John's, it can really get people's attention, and I think we have our team's attention, and hopefully we'll play well on Saturday.
Do you think this team is still capable of winning the Pac-12?
I can't answer that right now. I really can't. We're not there yet. We're such a long, long way. All we have is a 10-3 record, and a team that's getting ready to play Arizona State. And again, for us to be successful, we have to do the three things right there that I talked about better, to beat not just ASU, but the teams that are on our schedule, because I really believe that the Pac-12 is a strong conference. We've had a very good non-conference season. We've got plenty of teams that I'm sure have their visions and goals set on March Madness, and those goals are very realistic. So, it should be a lot of fun the next, again, 10-plus weeks here competing in our conference.
How's Stone looking?
Stone, he's looking great. It's really a shot in the arm for us to get him back. Sometimes you don't value a player until he's no longer with you. And in Stone's case, we've really missed him. We miss him every day because he's one of our team's hardest workers. He in practice plays the wing in the post, gives us more depth, as you guys know. And in some of the games that he's played in, he quietly has made a really positive impact. I think Stone can offensive and defensive rebound. I think he's really clever in terms of his scoring, and he's not just a three-point shooter. You guys have seen it. He can score around the basket. He can come in off the bench and get us points. I think he cares a lot. He's a really good competitor. And he's older. He's not 18, 19. He's a fifth-year senior. He's been through a lot of experiences, and we're a better team with him. So he's full go. He practices. We've been very smart in giving him time to overcome his, broken cheekbone and concussion. He took one heck of a shot, and that's to his credit as well. I mean, you watch guys play through injury and different things, man. You just, as a coach, you just love those guys. And Stone's just done what he's supposed to, and he might even get cleared to play without a mask, because I think he's close to 5 weeks since the incident. So I think in around that 5-6 week mark, we almost have full healing. So it's good to have him back.
You don't know whether or not he'll be wearing a mask on Saturday?
He's worn the mask to this point. He might wear the mask. I think the next couple of days will determine. I know he's itching to get out of the mask, as anybody would, but more for precautions than anything else. We've had that in place.
So when was he cleared fully for full contact?
Right on the return from Christmas, I think he had maybe 2 days where he was just complete non-contact. He started to do some non-contact before the St. John's game as well. So he's been with us for some time. And then, again, this week, you look for positives when you don't have a game. That's certainly one of them. We've been able to get him, a lot of different reps, and he's been able to play 5-on-5. So I think, we're excited to be able to implement him into our plans.
Do you have fully this week?
Yes.
4 or 5, whatever. Okay.
Sean, you talk about your concerns, your three of them. What have you liked about this team to this point?
Well, I think we have a lot of talent on offense. We have a team full of guys that can make plays and score in different ways. We've had big nights on offense. In some ways, it's remarkable because we have anywhere between 5 and 20 possessions that are just not smart. And for us to score and have the success we've had on offense in spite of those possessions, again, it all comes down to, can we cure a few things here that I think that are in our control. So that's one. We do a really good job of taking care of the basketball. It's kind of a head-scratching team with that. We could play 4-minute segments and almost go 4 or 5 turnovers. We've had 10 turnover halves, which have really hurt us. But in the second half of those games, we could play the entire 20 minutes with 3. We did that against St. John's. First half, 10 turnovers. Second half, 3. But we've had a lot of single-digit stretches of turnovers, and that's a big stat. When you're getting shots every time down. For example, Gonzaga, we just missed a ton of shots. Some of them just were crazy shots. But in terms of playing a 40-minute game against a quality team of that pace and have those turnovers being that low, that's a good sign. I think that's one of the keys to us playing well against ASU. Can we play a 40-minute game and take care of the ball? That's really important against them.
When you talk about the attitude, I was just curious individually how Ira and Dylan are taking it, because you didn't play them that second half. It obviously seemed like there were things you would want more out of them. I mean, how they?
No, they've responded great. They've come back with a very good attitude. I think the job of any coach is to play the players that are going to help us win. And if any of our guys aren't able to help us win, then we have to move to the next moment, the next player, and give him an opportunity. I think the one thing that's different about college basketball, and I always love to watch college football bowl games, because the new narrative becomes who's playing in the bowl game. And it's like, for the first time, some of college basketball has trickled into college football. It's should I play in the bowl? Should I not? And I was watching an Alabama game, and I know a lot of their juniors who are really talented. They seem to all play in the game. And when Saban was asked after the game about it, he gave a great answer. He said, believe it or not, like they play for the University of Alabama. They played to make an impression, because they wanted to play well, and they played because of their teammates, and they played because they really care about our program, and they've invested, and it's important to them. And because of that, they're not only great individual players, but they formed one of the best recruiting classes we've ever had. And he did it. He said it because they played in a bowl game. I think college basketball for us is, you can come out there and you could play, and all of our players think they play hard. I think across the country, it's like, hey, of course, coach, we play hard, but being a great competitor, that's a player that he's playing for Arizona. That he loves the University of Arizona. That he came here to be a part of some great legacy and tradition, and that he wants to make his own name in terms of winning. Did you win the Wooden Classic? Our exempt tournament this year? Yes, and you have great pride that you were a part of a team that won that, and you're getting ready to compete in the Pac-12, and you're trying to compete for the win. Time, score, situation, taking great shots, playing every possession, both on defense and offense, knowing your role, embracing your role. Those are things that are really hard to develop. And in our case, with 7 new players, it's not always straightforward. I wish I could have things worked out closer to the beginning of the year, but we've had, weeks and games and stretches here where, we look like a team that's new. And but some of it is, you have to play for your school. You got to play for, the Saturday night at McHale Center, 14,000 people. And I mean, it's the best of the best of the best, and it's like it has to almost give you goosebumps. You love it here, and you're playing for the win, and you're playing your heart and soul, so that at the end of the game, I won. No other agenda, and that's really hard. That's hard to cultivate, and every coach, I'm sure, wants to get it right, and we have to get that part of things right, where you got a team full of great competitors. And, some of the players that have played at this program for 40 years, 35 years, they were unreal competitors. Like, what was on their mind was the win. And when you have that team success and you think in those terms, it's just amazing how individually you move towards great things. And, sometimes you reach your individual goals without even realizing it, just because you're so locked in on, the moment, and playing for your school and playing for our program and this team. And, I think with the beginning of the Pac-12 season, that's as important for us as anything, to get everybody locked in on, here's my role on this year's team. This is what I need to do, and I got to work hard to be the best I can at it.
Are you able to comment on James Akinja?
No.
Not to wax poetic on your last statement, but is it today's athletes Those are pretty much today's athletes.
I can't really speak on, like, and I'm not the spokesman on everything for sure, but I am the spokesman at the moment for Arizona and us getting ready for a Pac-12 season. And, just being with our team, we have a great group of guys. Everybody's new to our program. It feels that way. Even those that have returned, they return to maybe a bigger role or a different role. And, to really get everybody to think about playing for their school. I'm getting ready, and Saturday night is a big moment for me as a player because we're playing ASU, and it's the first Pac-12 game, and we have to be ready, and we have to play a great energy, and these are the things we're working on in practice. Coach has really talked a lot about us being good in these areas or being better here, and that's my undivided, unquestionable, only focus. Anything that is in the future is only that. It's something you can't control. If you'd ask about Pac-12 championship, we're not even on the radar. It's about us being a good team, a better team, and being the most ready we can for a very good team in ASU.
What is your impression of ASU so far this year?
ASU plays a very good non-conference schedule, and they toughen their team through it. They get a lot of experiences away from home. They play quality opponents like us. I'm sure they're trying to learn and develop their team. But I think with them, it starts with their energy on defense. They're pesky. They're hard playing. They're in the passing lanes. They get steals. They get deflections. They create turnovers. And those turnovers fuel easy baskets and transition opportunities. And they like to play fast. They have a lot of guards that are comfortable playing fast. Really impressed with Romello White. Looks like he's in great shape. He's offensive rebounding last 5 games, about as well as any player that we will face all season long. He's running the court great. He's a low post scorer. He's a veteran. He's been through multiple Pac-12 seasons, and he's been in the winner's circle, and he's a handful in the post. Remy Martin, he's a terrific player, seems like a great leader, does it at both ends. A year ago, he averaged 30 on us. So we have to do a good job. They've added a very good newcomer, Verge, who's scored almost 50 points against St. Mary's. That's hard to do. It's tough to get 50 as a team against St. Mary's, let alone one player. And so we respect him a great deal. Edwards can really shoot the ball and is a very good player, again, older. And we have a big challenge. But, for us, we have to play well to win. We have to play well. Arizona has to play well, and we have to be a good team when we play the game, and that's going to help us win. As much as we like to talk about the other team, we respect them a great deal. It's so much about us being good.
Do they strike you any differently, especially on defense, without Cheatham and Dort, who are really good defensive players?
I think their numbers actually are better defensively maybe than they were last year. If they're not better, they're very similar. And, House is an incoming freshman, a very good young player who plays really hard and disrupts defensively, so he gives them a defensive stopper. And I don't know if it's really stopper as much as just a very good defensive player. You could tell, and I admire him because he's embraced that role, plays defense, he's a guy that plays the game like, this is my job, this is what I do every game. And those two-way players are hard to come by. I mean, a lot of guys like to play offense, but, defensively, that's really where you win. And it comes back to me, describing, what we're trying to do here, and that is, can we develop good players into good competitors, great competitors, where, I get defensive rebounds, I draw charges, I play both ends. I'm really locked in on my defensive assignment. On offense, this is how I play, and this is my role. Not one or the other. Not, I do it for a while, but can you be a very, very good team because you got some competitive players on the team? It's an important deal, and hopefully, from our perspective, we can make improvement in that area.
Is This game, I mean, all openers and Pac-12 schedule is always tough, but is this game maybe taking any more importance just to get that confidence back, you know, after the break in St. John's before you have to head up to Oregon? I mean,
You know, I think so. I don't know how I feel is, you know, every game that I've coached feels really important. I mean, it feels like, you know, it's a must win. If we'd have lost to Northern Arizona in our season opener, I would have been a crushing defeat. You know, we'd have been 0-1 and we'd have lost to somebody on our home court. And the fact we won that game is a big deal. You know, we were getting ready to play, you name the game. Stanford at Stanford this year, it's going to be a really, really important game. It's a road game. We don't play them at home. I think it's going to be a must win. You know, I think you look at the first round of the Pac-12 tournament. It's going to be March Madness, whether we play on Wednesday or Thursday. You know, it's an opportunity to advance, get a win. I'm sure a big win on a neutral court. I think it's going to be a must win. Every game we play at Arizona is all put in that same category. I felt like when we played Nebraska, Omaha, you know, that would have been a tough defeat for us. But we found a way to win. The fact we won that game, that was a big, big deal. It gave us one of our 10. But I think the game on Saturday I'd put in that same category. The 600 or whatever games I've coached, I think every one at the tip, I feel like you have to win.
Thanks, Coach.